One day, just as the sun was dropping and the moon was rising, a weary family arrived at the edge of a small city. Their car was almost out of gas. They were very tired. Their tummies rumbled with hunger. Cried the baby.
I'm hungry,
Whined the child.
I'm exhausted,
Moaned the father.
I'm worried.
Stated the mother.
Surely someone in this fine city can help.
Now this city, like most cities, had some people who were rich and some who were poor, but they generally all had good hearts. However, they were practical and very cautious about giving too much to strangers. Just in case something went wrong in their own lives, they wanted to be prepared. When they looked out their windows and saw the weary family, they said,
Look, strangers!
Close the curtains!
turn off the lights.
Hide the food and the money.
And that's precisely what they did. The weary family came to the first house, a small white townhouse with a green door. They knocked gently, and a young couple answered the door. Cooed the baby.
May I please use your bathroom?
Pleaded the child.
We've been traveling to find work and are hungry.
Moaned the father.
Please, kind-hearted people, we need your help.
Stated the mother.
Sorry.
Said the young couple in unison.
We have a child of our own to feed. No extra rooms and no money to spare.
Have you tried social services?
And closed the door. The young couple was indeed tight on cash, as they were saving for their child's education plan. The weary family sighed deeply and went on their way. Soon they came to a cute yellow brick house with a blue door. They knocked gently, and a man dressed in smart business clothes answered the door. Gurgled the baby.
May I please use your bathroom?
Begged the child.
We've arrived in town for a job interview and are hungry.
Moaned the father.
Please, kind-hearted man, we need your help.
Stated the mother.
Sorry,
Said the businessman.
I have a business to take care of, employees to pay, and nothing to spare. Have you tried the food bank?
And firmly shut the door. The businessman was indeed tight on cash, as he was planning to expand his business throughout the city. The weary family sighed deeper and went on their way, going from door to door. At every home, the answer was always a polite,
Sorry.
The people of the city were always quick with excuses.
Now is not a good time.
They were saving for retirement.
We can't.
They were storing food in case of a pandemic.
We're on a tight budget.
The price of groceries had gone up.
Maybe next year.
Their fridge was empty because they were going on vacation. The baby was crying. The child finally gave in and peed behind a tree. The father was sitting on the curb, distraught, as he was the one who could not find work. The mother, however, was thinking.
The people here have a lot to learn. Let's teach them how to share a little so that everyone has enough.
She quietly whispered the details of her plan to her weary family. Soon the baby dozed off smiling. The child ran to collect sticks for a fire. The father dug through the trunk of the car crammed with all they owned until he pulled out an empty pot and ladle. The mother filled the pot with fresh water from a garden tap. Together, they started the fire in the busy town square and set the large pot of water on the top. When the water started bubbling, the family got into their positions. The baby still slept. The child asked in a loud voice,
Why are we making so much for dinner?
The father projected his reply.
We want to help the people of this fine city, as they have nothing.
The child, right on cue, asked.
And what is it we shall make?
The mother almost sung her answer.
We are going to make a pot of the most delicious and nutritious stone soup.
Oh,
Stone soup!
cheered the father and child together. The people of the city became extremely curious. First, the businessman came out, then the young couple with their child. They had heard of lots of soups, but never stone soup. The businessman asked the weary family,
How exactly do you make stone soup?
The baby snored. The child whispered.
First, we need the secret ingredients.
The father reached into a small bag, held up 3 smooth stones, and plunked them, 1, 2, 3, into the pot of boiling water. He exclaimed,
Soon we will have a feast.
The mother stirred the pot with the ladle and licked her lips, waving the imaginary aroma towards herself. She took on a dreamlike expression. Soon the word spread. The people of the town phoned, texted, and posted to each other about this unexpected feast. In the town square, a crowd formed around the weary family. The baby hiccuped. The child held his breath. The father took a long sip of the warm stone broth as everyone leaned in to see his response. He bellowed joyfully.
Absolutely delicious. All it needs is a little salt and pepper.
Before the mother could respond, the businessman said,
I have salt and pepper at home. I'll be right back.
After stirring the seasoned pot a while, the mother tasted the soup.
Ooh, this is splendid. If only we just had an onion, it would be perfect.
Immediately, an older man from the crowd spoke up.
I have onions.
With his walker, he disappeared into an Ontario cottage across the street and emerged with onions in hand. The baby drooled. The child cheered.
Yay!
The father chopped up the onions and tossed them into the pot. The mother blew on the spoon, held it to the child's lips, and everyone waited for the child's response. The child looked up and announced,
Potatoes! That's all it needs and it will be the best stone soup ever!
At once, a little girl jumped on her skateboard and shouted.
We have potatoes, fresh from the garden.
A boy on his bike called out.
I love carrots! Can we put carrots in the soup?
Soon, the entire city was involved with many people coming and going, bringing
Barley.
Turnips.
Tomatoes!
Dumplings.
Noodles.
Tofu.
Seaweed.
Chicken!
Kohlrabi.
Rutabagas.
Daikon.
Broccoli.
Ginger!
Lemongrass.
Peas.
Corn.
and parsley for spice. The baby bounced happily on a grandmother's knee. The child led the other kids to bring tables and lawn chairs and bowls and spoons. The fathers all came forward to help dice and chop and add ingredients, stirring them into the soup. The mothers talked about how great it was that this new and talented family had chosen to come to their city. Finally, when the pot could hold no more, the mayor of the city was invited to taste the stone soup. She drew the spoon to her lips and took a long sip as the crowd watched with anticipation. After a moment of reflection, she affirmed with authority,
I officially declare that this is the best stone soup this city has ever tasted.
and with that, everyone lined up with their bowls and spoons as the weary family ladled out enough for every single person in the city. And there was even enough broth for the babies. Local restaurants and bakers brought out bread and beverages, and the town's musicians, poets, and acrobats drew loud applause. As the evening drew to a close, and people began to say their goodnights, the young couple, from the small white townhouse with the green door, jumped up on a table with their young child.
We want to thank this strange, new family. Not only did they make us the best stone soup ever,
They have also taught us all a very important lesson. If we each share a little, we will all have enough.
And with that, the people laughed and hugged. The young couple offered the weary family a place to spend the night, and then they all pitched in to clean up before a good night of restful sleep. The baby nursed. The child dreamed. The father relaxed. He had made some connections for a job. The mother smiled peacefully and drifted off to sleep. The end.